So, one intersection like this behind me was a Madison Police Department officer preparing to turn left in the direction, preparing to turn into the direction I'm going. I'm wagering that before you know it, he's gonna wind up somewhere in my rear view, but I don't see him. And is that the gay community member? Yep, it is. No, it's not. Maybe. I thought I saw the hairstyle. But anyways, so the turn signal, he had his turn signal on, but I'm guessing he decided to go a different route because I pulled out my phone. Nope. That cockroach is on his way. He's in the left lane behind the first car in line. There he is. What do you know? Look at that. Harassment. Police, stalking, and harassment. There it is. That's all it takes. It's for you to know where someone is, know what routes they take to go home, wait along the route that you know they're probably going to take to go home, and you will be able to pretend to stalk and harass them. It's not too hard. It's not too hard. It's not, and someone is using implants to tell me right now, turn your phone off, turn your phone off, turn your phone off, turn your phone off, because look, they wanted to escape this harassment. Go fuck yourself! Constantly showing me police and paramedics, let's say you were playing a video game called Grand Theft Auto, and you were constantly playing that game. Well, you played it for 20 minutes. All you would see were police officers, people who driving inappropriately, and flashing lights everywhere you went. So someone developed a tool to do the things I just described to somebody in person outside the video game. And you use an implant to be able to stalk, harass, and time exactly when to flash your lights, time exactly when they see paramedics, time exactly when they see police officers, whenever they're in public. And basically, they just told me in my ears to scare that person from leaving their homes, to make sure that person never exits the house, and if they do, they're going to get harassed by police officers, paramedics, because they want that person to be terrorized or understand that people have death threats for them, or people have agendas for them. One person wants to have you incarcerated, another person wants to kill you. So to represent those two people, they use paramedics or police officers. So what I'm wagering is, if I didn't have this camera recording at this very moment, you guys would witness more police officers the moment while I'm driving. But now that I'm recording, and I've been complaining, they only show one officer because it makes you look like you're not telling the truth about the number of times you see police officers, or it looks like you weren't telling the truth. So it's stupid, but I'm gonna keep recording, because I think as soon as I put my phone down, a police officer is gonna show up because he knows I'm not recording. See, there you go. There you go. What did I tell you? Go fuck yourself! What did I tell you? What did I tell you? The whole time they kept telling me, put your phone down, put your phone down, put your phone down. Because they want to escape, don't want me to record the police harassment or stalking behavior along the routes. And then they just told me, we want you to be president, and this is what happens when you become president. You're going to see police officers along your route. Whatever route you choose to take, you're going to see police officers. But that's also a setup for history to repeat. They want to set up an opportunity for somebody who was planning on telling in the past to be shot once more in the future. Well, that person was shot. The people who told on the government took positions, that are in the media, that have a lot of attention, took positions of power in the media that have a lot of attention to, and then to shoot that person. So to give someone the spotlight and then to kill them as an example, to make an example to others. If you try to tell, you will be killed. So I don't know the details of how things will play out, but I do know that's what they just told me, using an implant. So as we speak, there are people talking to me at will, using an implant. It's not difficult. So I'm driving and listening to people talk to me for years, telling me to have sex with gay people, commit rape, be violent, commit a crime, accept the harassment, use a police officer to kill, to be the one to kill you. Lots of different forms of harassment, with verbal harassment, with an implant, and then at the same time you electrocute parts of their brain so they can't speak as well as they know they can speak, because now people will believe them because they can say things to explain themselves that make sense. And if you stop that person from speaking, nothing they say makes sense, and now you won't believe them. So use an implant to interfere with someone's ability to tell. So, and then crazy driving. So I've been seeing, you see how people drive, they're driving perfectly, right? Everybody you see driving normal, no weird, bizarre behaviors, no speeding, no flashing lights, nothing like that. But a minute ago, when I first got in this car, like 5 minutes ago, I saw a truck burn rubber. I seen a car behind me take a really wide turn that was inappropriate and correct themselves. I saw a car dodge a bus, accelerate past a bus that was turning, and turn rapidly. And they turned rapidly around that person's and then the SUV turned rapidly around the bus. But my point is, I've seen several different inappropriate driving behaviors. Just like if you were playing a video game. If you were playing a video game called Grand Theft Auto online, and you took a car you bought or a car you stole off the streets, and you drove around for a little bit, what you would notice is that people were driving very inappropriately all over town. And this is just, look at this inappropriate driving. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to sit there and wait. Whoever that is wanted me to. Oh, and then I just while that happened, then they go somewhere close. And they go somewhere close by, turn around and park their car. And hopefully I get angry, right? Hopefully I'm angry about what that person just did. And I go over there and approach them. And I say something to them. Or I take out my anger on them. But what I almost didn't say, they just used implants to remind me you were trying to say that you wanted to, we told you to hit the gas as you witnessed somebody cut in front of you in a way that normally nobody would. They would just wait at the intersection to cut in front. Until there was a room for them to pass. They told me to hit the gas, accelerate, and smash into that car. That's what they were yelling. And then they applied pressure to the part of my brain, somewhere in I can't describe it, but it's like pressure on your brain. And then they tell you what to do. So you can't think, you can't reason. That's a bad idea. So it's almost as if they could actually steal my ability to reason and prevent me from I think you can park over here. prevent me from, it's a flat. I like flat surfaces because this car on a hill will start funny. Oh shit, I didn't see that there. This car on the hill won't, when it starts up, will crank funny. It's like it's been cranking funny, like it's like struggling to start. But on a flat surface, this car will start without any noises, without any sounds, without any struggling. So I'm gonna see what happens tomorrow morning when I start her up from a flat surface. But anyways, so they just tried to get me to do something, to retaliate, because I witnessed something I didn't like by slamming on the gas and striking the car who has no patience, or shows no patience for the appropriate driving, like way people drive appropriately. We wait for a clear opening to pass through the intersection. And if you want to hit the gas and suddenly accelerate and take a chance that there's no cars coming, or you will get through the intersection fast enough, go for it. I choose to practice slow driving tendencies. The people who drive slowly and use patience before they make a turn, that's the type of driving I prefer at all times. I think I've always have. And I firmly believe there's a group of people in our community who will hit the gas, like suddenly accelerate through street corners, turn corners quickly, not follow not follow proper driving, I don't know what the word is, but the way people drive normally is not what they do. And I've been watching people do that very often. And I think they're trying to get me to do what they do. Make the example. Be the example. Follow their example. Drive, accelerating, like swerve, intimidate people with your vehicle, accelerate quickly towards their bumper, hit the brakes, or hit the gas as you pass them very fast, like accelerate up to their bumper, switch lanes, hit the gas, and blow past them. I'm sure you guys, if you're watching this video, you can think of the bad driving habits, or not bad driving habits, but inappropriate driving that you've seen, and I bet I've seen it too in the last 6 years, to get me to repeat their behavior or to get me to drive like them. But it's harassment. It's harassment because you're not supposed to see these things. Someone is making sure you see inappropriate driving more than you're supposed to, right? So they're stalking you to show you things that aren't, like a casual drive home. You're not supposed to see anything. You just drive home. Nobody's driving inappropriately, but somebody is making sure that I am seeing or witnessing people who drive inappropriately wherever I go, or police officers wherever I go, or paramedics or wherever I go, or flashing lights wherever I go, or somebody mouthing the words gay or saying something inappropriate wherever I go. It's like you're playing a video game. So somebody wants me to think I'm inside of a video game in real life everywhere I go. And the more I behave like an adult, the more they want to show me that I'm in a reality where people are acting like they are the computerized simulations of you see in GTA. But that's just a perspective. That's one perspective of what I'm experiencing. I think there's a reality to everything I see. I think there's actually people who are angry, don't like what I do, or don't like that I'm not gay, and they're harassing me in as many possible ways as they can to get me to change my choices in life. Like change the choice to behave appropriately, change the decision to not be a criminal. So you surround me with criminals. You surround me with bad choices. You surround me with people telling me things that I shouldn't do, or to get that person to turn into a criminal. So you hide the tool. You hide the tool beneath the surface. How do you constantly harass or get someone to think about crimes? You put an implant in their bodies, and you pay people to act like they can't never stop talking to that person. Never stop telling them to do things inappropriately. Never give them a moment of freedom where they believe they can go home without any harassment. They can go home and live their life as well as they want to live it. Never give them that moment of freedom. And you do it with an implant. That's how you hurt people. Even when if you look above the surface, you'd see somebody alone, but in reality, there is a tool to surround that person at all times with harassment, sexual harassment, verbal harassment, and electrical torture called an implant. So that person is not alone. Somebody could constantly be harassing that person, making noises, making it difficult for them to speak, electrocuting their genitals, and they're standing right in front of you. They're standing right in front of you, and you can't tell. And as far as you can see above the surface, there is no tool torturing. They're alone. As far as you can see above the surface, they're alone. But in reality, that person has a tool that makes it appear as though thousands of people are constantly harassing them. And it's all done from beneath the surface. So you put a tool in their body, you harass them, you torture them, you electrocute their genitals, you stop them from being able to think, you stop them from being able to tell, and you could literally rape that person in broad daylight right in front of everyone in a crowded room or in an empty room. Or as they walk down the street, you could technologically rape that person and harass that person and teach that person to commit crimes by constantly harassing them and giving them the thoughts of criminals, like suggestions for to do criminal behaviors over and over and over and over and over again. That's all you got to do. It's not too hard. You can easily use technology to do what I said, in case that person finds a way to not socialize with criminals or people who want that person to do bad things because they got a job, they got an apartment, they got a car, they have a little bit of what you call freedom. But you can take that freedom. You can take freedom from people. You can take some freedom from that person with the implant. So the implant is the tool that represents all the bad people that were around them before that person can escape. But you can't get rid of the implant because no one's listening. No one believes you. Two, if someone were to believe you and were to help you, then you have a national problem. There was an implant in somebody's body. You have a huge issue now, because you got to explain, how did that implant get into that person's body and who was allowing that person to be tortured and raped this entire time? So there's two big issues with admitting that there's an implant in somebody's body. People are going to get in trouble, and I'm going to keep telling. I am going to keep telling because it's rape. And in my left ear, I can hear Taylor Swift making noises, harassing noises. So when you know how people mumble or stutter when they speak, well, Taylor Swift is mocking every single time I mumble or stutter as I speak, or making sex noises like or some weird mumbling, grumbling noises in my left ear while electrocuting my ear, like the eardrum, electrocuting the eardrum, and they call it pleasure. Or licking noises, and they call that pleasure. They're rapists with implants. These are gay community members in our society that someone allowed to put implants in their children to sexually assault or sexually harass or stalk or intimidate, to scare into having sex with gay people, or one of the people doing bad things that they see all the time are going to do bad things to them. Like police officers or random people driving inappropriately, or they're going to see paramedics. They're going to actually be inside a paramedic, and then the lie that I'm going to be president and this is for to prepare me to be president. That's a lie. I have no intentions. I plan on declining. They have no idea that I would choose to become the president of the United States. I will always decline, because I know America doesn't need a leader. America needs freedom. And then America needs an opportunity to get stronger. Those are the two things Americans need. They don't need a leader to lie or to hide or to distract them from the reality that we need our freedom. And our freedom comes from the absence of gravity. Well, as much gravity as needed unless it supports freedom. So one tool that people need is energy. Lots and lots of energy. Freedom comes from power in for food and shelter. That's the majority of the freedom that people need. You can have the best life possible with those two things. And harassment. So in order to escape harassment and be able to protect yourself at all times, people need the right to get the ability to get stronger. And not stronger as in bigger, but stronger as in dense muscle density, bone density. And that comes from somebody who built a tool to compress all human mass in the same area to cause an evolution. Evolution would be increased bone density, increased muscle density, energy, improve mass. So the things you're made out of will improve under pressure. So everything beneath the surface is going to improve. Every atom, molecule that you're made out of is going to improve because of the pressure it's under and the increase in mass. So now you have improvements, and that strength is what people can use to stand up for what they believe, what they know to be right. So those are the two things Americans need. They don't need a leader. So I'm going to decline to ever be president. I don't think it's appropriate. And I think it's an opportunity to kill somebody and hurt the nation's feelings. Hurt like the people who believe in the right things, people who believe in what I just said, like justice, liberty, all the good things in life, everything that America stands for. Their feelings are going to be hurt. There are people out there who truly believe in the American ambition, what America stands for. And if they find out, for those people are easily hurt by seeing a president get killed. Those people, especially one they know had the best intentions for them. So I refuse to ever be the president of the United States. I refuse to give them an opportunity to hurt as many Americans who believe in freedom and the fact that getting stronger will lead to better lives, a better life for them, with the help of gravity. And somebody just yelled in my ear, "Shut up!" in my left ear, "Shut up!" while electrocuting my eardrum. Believe in gravity. I believe in freedom and strength, and I think that strength should give people longer life, like a huge, incredible boost in life. I'm talking about 30 or 40 years. I'm talking about maybe 60, 70 years. Our bones are capable of lasting a very long time, and so are our muscles. But you need pressure to create the muscle density or to trigger the growth that creates muscle density that lasts as for 50, 60, 70 years on top of whatever you're expected to live already. So that was a gift I learned how to give to people. It's called strength. It's called with the things you can do with the help of gravity, with nature. But somebody didn't expect that. Somebody didn't expect that I would learn how to get smarter. Somebody decided that I would learn how to I would have to have sex with gay people or commit crimes and be violent or do bad things to people instead of being the person who learned how to improve. And they expected that from the moment they met me 20 years ago, or from the moment I was born. Somebody had hate for intelligent black children. Without knowing this hatred, I grew up projecting intelligence and strength and speed, and these are two talents that indicate you have a connection to something that others don't, especially the strength and the speed and the gifts from gravity. I had gifts from gravity and lots of energy. I was a boy too, so somebody who's really intelligent and was angry that somebody was born with those gifts decided to plan that bad things would happen to me in the future, and then eventually I would do bad things in the future as well. And they started in my infancy, and they start all over the country. It's taking longer for these bad things, for me to do bad things because I'm smarter. I turned out to be more intelligent than the people who decided to do bad things to me, or than they expected. So I learned how to improve. I learned how to get stronger, and I used as much intelligence as I have to beat the difficulties in life. If I had my complete freedom, there wouldn't really be any difficulties in life. So somebody made life a little harder for me with an implant, with sexual harassment, with intimidation, with police officers breaking the law, breaking the rules, doing things that they are not legally allowed to do, and escaping the gravity of it, like using the system to harass people. What can we say or do to harass somebody at all times? And it's not difficult. You just need the right people to help you. You need a community of liars to support the harassment. So when you see somebody doing bad things, you need somebody on your side. Well, when you want to do bad things to somebody, you need someone to help you. Like if you're in a gang and you were going to rob people together, you have your gang members help you, right? So now, or you have your gang members lie for you. So you have if somebody knew they were you were being questioned, there's a person standing right next to you who will say he didn't do anything, he had nothing to do with it. So now you got a lying witness or some assistance, and that's all it takes to successfully get away with using police officers to harass somebody. Use people in the community to help the police officer do bad things to somebody else in the community that the person who asked the police to help wanted to be done to that person. So you get it? It's like you use groups to hurt one person or hurt several people, and then you lie about it, or you put layers of rationality on top that somebody would have to spend a long time working through. And when they got to the bottom, they realized that none of the things you said above the surface make any sense. And at the bottom, you really just did something bad, but you put all these layers on top so that most people wouldn't look into it. Or there's so many things you have to do to look into it that people won't try. So that's the community I live in. That's the community experiences I've had since I've got out of prison. And as we speak, it looks like I'm completely alone, right? You're watching this video. It looks to you, hey, this man is just sitting in his car. There's absolutely no one bothering him. That's not the reality. The reality is there's an implant in my body, and several people are listening to every single word that I've said in this video for the past 29 minutes. So every single thing that I've said for 29 minutes has been heard by several different people who have different tools to turn everything I said into something that would hurt me. And that's what they just told me. They just said they applied pressure to my brain, and then they said very, very quickly. So I can't talk as fast as I can hear people talking to me. They are talking very quickly and saying things so fast that you can hear it and understand it, but you can't repeat what they said as fast as they said it. I can't talk that fast. So they're talking faster than me. And they're telling me that we are going to lie about everything you just said. We're going to tell everyone you have a mental illness and there is no implant in your body, and nobody in the world would ever be able to design a tool to hurt people the way you described that you were being hurt. Basically, they just said all that in like one sentence, or like, I don't know, 4 words very quickly. They said what I just said, but very, 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 very quickly. It's an implant. It's a tool you can use to rape and torture anyone or teach somebody to do bad things to other people. And there is no moment that should continue. This shouldn't continue for one moment. They're telling me there's a time. Now they just said we have to wait for the right time to tell Americans. In the meantime, we're going to continue to rape and torture you until you are willing to have sex with gay people. We're going to try to get you to have sex with gay people while we wait for a date to get people to tell people what we did. But that's not reality. They're hoping I die, I commit crimes, or I do something violent between for tomorrow. That's what they're hoping for, or tonight, or at this very moment. They hoped that I would commit a crime, and they have no intentions of ever allowing people to know that, hey, there's a guy telling everybody there's an implant in their body. They have no intentions of bringing this to the public because it would send too many people to jail. It would send them to jail. So I'm going to post this video. It will be, it is fine. You can find this video on YouTube, probably. I'm sure people, if they Googled my name and Googled for this video, it would be there. So I don't know what they planned on doing about that, because it literally is on YouTube. I checked myself. So how do you escape the word that the intelligence that this person is talking about? Well, this is very intelligent. To discover a way to torture and rape somebody with an implant for the specific purpose, has a touch of intelligence that a guy like me wouldn't be able to discover. I'm not technology savvy. I'm not government. I don't know the government. I don't know how to manipulate people. I'm not into psychology. I do know that I can tell what I hear and what I see and what I think about both of those things. I can tell you that. So that's as far as my intelligence goes. Creating the idea that you can hurt or torture and rape somebody with an implant, and actually doing that and how you can get away with it, is not my intelligence. Somebody else's intelligence is or group intelligence is where that, what I've told you so far, has come from. And I'm just a witness. I'm witnessing, and as a victim, I am witnessing as a victim how to torture and rape someone and never get caught for it. So, and they're harassing me because I can't speak that well, which I know I'm able to speak. I can speak very well. I don't struggle. I've never struggled with speaking in my life. It's been my greatest, one of my best gifts is was always able to tell things that I wanted people to hear without struggling. I've never struggled to do that. It's been very easy for me. And you can use an implant to stop someone from being able to do that. So I'm telling, and I'm going to post this video, and they just told me if you post that video, we're going to use it entirely to destroy you as much as possible. But I mean, it's impossible. Either you have someone with an implant or you have a liar. So even if he is a liar, let's say he is a liar, how do you hurt people who lie in this country? It's a freedom. If you don't want to tell the truth, you don't have to. You have the freedom to lie as much as possible. You can, yeah, I think so. They just told me, well, you can be held for libel. You can be held for slander and libel. That's what they just said. And then they applied pressure to my brain to stop me from coming up with the appropriate response. If you were me, what would I say? They just stopped me from thinking of the appropriate response. But my point is, if this person is lying about implants, that's his choice. That's his freedom. He can lie about implants all he wants. Or he's actually telling the truth, and there is implants in his body, an implant in his body, and someone is using it to electrocute his body parts and stop him from being able to speak, to tell exactly what's happening to him, so that no one would believe anything he says, because he's not making, like, saying things entirely appropriately. Well, that makes sense, or organized. It's not concise. There's no there's no direct. Well, he can't control what he's saying. Well, he can't speak like you would hear someone speak to explain themselves, so that you would understand what's happening to them. And that's what the implant's for, to stop someone from being able to speak. And they just said, we're going to tell people you do drugs. And we just asked Todd Hall if he was able to hear you, if he agrees that you were always able to speak without struggling. But Todd Hall needs me to have sex with gay people in order to be the president of the United States. He needs me to have sex with gay people because he made a bet that he could turn his little brother into a homosexual in order to get the reward of running for president and winning, because he's connected to the gay community via the little black boy he took into his home and turned into a homosexual. And then he gets to have sex with celebrities. Todd Hall would get to have sex with gay celebrities who really hate straight men. These celebrities hate straight men. And then if I was lucky, one of these gay celebrities would let me have anal sex with her, while I watched Todd Hall have sex with the people they watch me my whole life appear to be attracted to. So there was a twist because I wasn't gay. So the moment I chose to be gay would be the moment that I would start receiving benefits from the gay community to have sex with gay women. But if I waited 20 years or 30 years, I wouldn't receive benefits of having sex with gay women for like 30 years. 30 years later. So when I'm 60 or 70 years old, and these women would probably be dead. But in the meantime, in those 30 years, I would have to have sex with dudes. Lick their buttholes, lick their balls, lick their body parts. They keep telling me I'd have to eat a gay man's poop. I'd have to eat his feces. Because... or to prove how gay I was. They wouldn't believe I wasn't gay until I was gay until I was eating a gay man's feces. And that's the pledge. That's the pledge you make to prove you're gay, because no straight man would ever eat another man's feces. And that's what they planned. That's what they planned my whole life for me to do, to grow. The longer I wait, the more feces I'd have to eat to prove I wanted to live. Because now that you have chosen to have sex with a dude at 30, that means 30 years ago you could have been gay this whole time having sex with dudes. And if you want to stay alive, you don't want gay people to kill you because they feel like they have hurt feelings. They have hurt feelings because you chose not to have sex with them for so long. If you don't want one of these dudes to show up and kill you, you're going to have... They just told me to shut up in my left ear. You're going to have to... and electrocute... You're gay. And they said, you're gay in my left ear. You're going to have sex with dudes now. A lot. All the time. As a slave. Like you don't have a choice. Or somebody's going to kill you. Or if you choose not to have sex with gay people, we're going to kill you anyways. We're just going to think of a way to do it to make it look like an act, to make it look like it was unrelated to the gay community. So we're going to make it look like a pure accident, like random, as random as possible, so that no one in the gay community is associated with your death. And we're going to justify you not having sex your whole life because you were interested in old women or 20-year-old girls your whole life. You were never interested in women your age, which is not true. I've always been interested in people my age. I've never been interested in children, teenagers, 20-year-old women, or really old women, or married couples. So they keep surrounding me with those options of people who have open marriages, who are 20-year-olds, who are teenagers, who are children, who are boys or girls, and all those teenage boys, teenage girls, teenage children, teenage 20-year-olds, 20-year-old boys or men or women. to like the constant harassment, sexual harassment would lead to me finally choosing one of those options. And the fact that I'm losing life, right? So while I'm choosing not to do those things, I'm actually losing life, right? I'm losing the freedom to learn, to enjoy life, to travel, to be a part of life, to have experiences that you really want to have. And they just said, okay, we really feel sorry for you. We feel sorry for you. We're going to give you a chance to do the things you want to do. But working is not enough. So you can sexually harass somebody at work. So you're not really guaranteeing by telling somebody you can get a job that you're going to have the best life possible. The best life possible comes from the opportunities to do the things you really wanted to do. So, and I'm not in a rush to do those things. I understand that you only get a couple of weeks. Well, your weekend time or your free time is the only time you really get to enjoy life. And the other part of your life, you have to work. I find that a lot of jobs that I've taken are not bad, and you make a lot of money. So you have the energy to do the things you want to do. You just have to find an opportunity to do those things. But somebody could torture you every second of your life with an implant, electrocuting your ears, your genitals, or your anus, and just take a shift. Somebody's taking shifts, electrocuting your body parts and interfering with your ability to tell people what's happening to you on their shift. And then that's their shift. And then you're living your life as best as you can, but somebody's electrocuting your body parts at the same time. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, what is that life like? That's a torturous life. That's not your freedom. That is rape and torture by somebody who thinks you're gay, or who told people you were gay and needs you to be gay to fulfill whatever bet or whatever expectations they made for you in your childhood. And Todd Hall is on the winning end of this scenario because he's the one who will benefit the most. He wanted to make history. So someone paired him with a little black child that was a projected intelligence that he could use to propel him, Todd Hall, into a position of value or history. Right? So if he has a gay black dude following him around that's really smart, that's really strong, really fast, it makes him look good. And he doesn't have to fear his dominance because the black dude following him around is gay. And if he's gay, people around him who feel emasculated or don't feel that dominant because there's a heterosexual black man who's strong, fast, and intelligent nearby, they just use an implant to stop me from drawing the point. But you could draw the point. If you're listening to this video and you can hear what I have to say, somebody just used an implant to stop me from drawing the point that I was trying to make to you. And that's what the implant's for. Around the clock, somebody is watching me at all times with an implant to stop me from telling or being able to tell and electrocuting my genitals. So right now, my ears are being electrocuted, and they I don't know how to describe it. They are pulling on my ears, on my earlobes, to scratch them out, to make them feel like they're in pain, and electrocuting my ear canal and telling me it's for pleasure. But you see, I think you can get the idea now that clearly someone is trying to tell something and they can't. And I am telling you that the reason I'm not able to tell you anything or to speak with sense is because someone keeps using the implant to interfere with when I need to use my memory to make a point. Or use words from my memory to make points. So it's an implant. You use an implant to torture and rape someone and stop them from telling. And they just told me, good, finally you can end that video. All right, is this the end of the video? That's what they were saying with 2 or 3 words, and then like a pressure on my brain. So I'm sure there's things I would say. They just told me, yeah, say this. I'm sure there's things you would say very quickly. So you can speak quicker. You can hear things quicker than you can speak. For me, I can't speak as quickly as the people around me or the people using these implants to talk to me right now. But yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. You can torture, rape, and hurt people at any time, anywhere with an implant. And I'm not mad at the world. If you look at my Twitter page, well, if you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see that there is something incredible that I've found, and there's something incredible that I'm trying to give to everyone I can meet. Any and every single person in the world. They should know how to improve their lives. They should know what's important to them. They should know how to stay alive, and who they are, or what forces of nature, how to get closer to their nature. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. So I'm not mad. I learned how to get stronger. So I'm the opposite of what people are going to try to use this video to explain to the public about me. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I learned something incredible, which is something no one wanted me to know, while people were electrocuting my genitals and stopping me from being able to speak or to tell anyone about it. So no, I honestly doubt that I have any intentions to. They just told me, you just made your whole neighborhood famous. So where you're sitting right now is about to be historical. It's about to be a historical marker. Not a historical, but like, I forgot how, I can't tell you how they do it, but they can say things so quickly, or draw an image. So they speak and then they flash an image and then they apply pressure. So you get the idea of what they're trying to say without them actually saying it. So they just told me that this place is flashing an image of this place becoming famous, or like marked off and cornered off. I don't know, some crazy implant flash image. And now they're telling me we're going to use everything you just said to call you a liar. And we're going to tell everyone without a doubt there's no implants in your body. And no matter what, we're going to say that. We're going to say it, we're going to say it, we're going to say it. But I would wager people are going to ask, well then, how could he know how to do this? How could he know that how would he know that what he's saying is actually possible? We don't have a story of implants anywhere in the world that can actually do the things he's saying. And then he learned something incredible. If what he learned is really true, why would he lie about implants? If all he cares about is weightlifting, why would he talk about anything else? Why would he talk about implants and what horrible things they could do to people? So if he's really smart and he's really hardworking and he wants good things for people, why would he know anything about implants and how to hurt people? That seems like somebody else, two different perspectives of life. One person who's intelligent, he has no rational expectation to learn how to torture and rape people and get away with it. And another rationale that a weightlifter would want to improve his life by getting stronger without getting bigger, and to teach others to do the same. These are two different rationalities, two different desires for life. So somebody hates straight people, and I bet it's people in the gay community. Two, someone would benefit from turning a black man into a gay man. Todd Hall. He would benefit in the media if people could see a gay dude standing next to him who was his connection to the gay community. Now Todd Hall could run for the president because he has the gay community's support. And he has what appears to be a heterosexual image. So straight people will vote for him and gay people will vote for him. This retard tried to force me to have sex with gay people or turn into a rapist. And then he could use that. He could use the sympathy card that he tried to help someone so much. He put everything he had into helping that person, everything he had. But if you look beneath the ask him for the receipts, ask him not for the receipts, but for the evidence that you found resources for that child to use to improve his life the whole time you knew him, he won't be able to produce any resources he ever used to give that kid tools that he could use to improve his life, not once, but for 180 days of a school year. So you could take one day out of the school year and say, hey, I'll help you with your homework. Or take one day out of the school year and say, hey, I'll grade your paper. But there's 180 days in a school year. There's 6 or I don't know how many months, 8 months in the school year. So helping somebody one day out of the year is not doing anything over a 10-year period. You're not doing anything. One day out of every year is not going to improve that person's life. It's a day-to-day job. So ask Todd Hall to really prove how he tried so hard to improve my life. He didn't. He lied to the public. He just needed a cover. He needed a title for years to use to tell people he did something he never did. So as long as he has the title, no one's going to look beneath the surface to see if he actually was the person he claimed to be. He was actually the worst mentor. He never found any tools I could use to constantly improve. And he swore he would never take financial responsibility, which is unnecessary. But if you cared about someone and you really wanted them to succeed, you would accept reality that if no one else is going to help this person, I think I'm going to have to be the guy who provides the resources for this person to succeed. That's the reality of life. I think he avoided that and he lied about it. Oh, he knew he could just lie. He could just lie at the end of the day and say, I don't actually have to help you because I'm just going to tell people I did anyways. So that was Todd Hall. And his family, so they added layers. They added lies on top of lies, but there was no literal resources used to improve my life. The entire time I knew these people, they were hoping I'd turn into a criminal or hoping I would choose to have sex with the numerous kids who were gay that surrounded me. They were hoping that one night I'd just choose, I'm going to have sex with a dude because I clearly have learned over the years that there's an association I've witnessed with success and gay children. So I would just choose to be a gay child and have some success that I see the other kids I grew up with or that surround me see what they have. I make the same choices to do what they did and do it and have sex with gay kids for success. That was Todd Hall's intention. But if he helped me, if he gave me resources, how would I be motivated to have sex with gay people? I wouldn't be. I'd have all the resources I needed and I'd start to improve immediately. And this was long before the implants turned on. The implants turned on like 6 years ago as I was walking home from work in the middle of the night down West Washington Avenue, or was it East Washington? East Washington Avenue from work. And I think it was, from work. It was like late at night and I started hearing Todd Hall's voice telling me, I desperately want to have sex with you. I desperately want to have sex with you in like 500 ways. So if you could think of 500 ways to tell another man you wanted to have sex with them, that's what I heard within 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes. Like as I walked down that road, those are the things I heard. And then I started telling, and here I am. But so that's what happened on the way. Well, that's where this started, and it began because after all this time in prison, all the time out of prison, I still chose not to have sex with gay people. So they pulled out their greatest tool, the implant, torture and rape from beneath the surface, and to hide that person from the public, to prevent that person from ever being able to tell. And you could still, and they planned on using me in the media to have sex with gay, as a representative of the gay community, to represent gay people. To represent the gay community, on TV, like you see gay men all over TV now. They wanted me to be one of those gay men on TV while Todd Hall was fighting to become the president of the United States. And they used an implant to get me to be that gay dude you see on TV, while Todd Hall got to be the straight guy having sex with all the people I thought about having sex with, who turned out, not all the people I thought about having sex with, but celebrities he watched me appear to be attracted to in the privacy of my home. But the whole time, these celebrities were gay community members. And the reality is, Todd Hall is a gay community member. So they would be having sex with each other, pretending to be straight people while pretending to be heterosexual people in the public. And in reality, these people are freaking gay. And then I would be a straight guy pretending to be a gay dude in the opinions of the gay community, but they would do their best to get me to think that I was actually gay. So it's like psychological. Use an implant to torture and rape somebody to do what you wanted, in which is for them to be gay in public and in private too. And in reality, you know this person was never willing to have sex with gay people. That's who that person is. And over here, the people who are benefiting from the dude who's gay, the people benefiting from the dude who is being tortured and raped to have sex with gay people and paraded in the public as a gay man, is over here. And over here, you have the actual gay community who are in public paraded as straight people and having sex, and they're actually gay. So you torture and rape the straight guy, put him over there, and the gay community is lying to the public, lots of people, millions of people who have no clue that they are actually gay, which is a turn on for lots of gay people because they think they're intelligent. They get off on tricking people or coercing people to do things while lying straight to their face. So if a gay community member can scare you or intimidate you or trick you into thinking they're straight, they feel like it's like a prize or a reward or a celebratory thing. And Todd Hall just showed himself laughing in my it wasn't him. It was an old, like altered photograph of him laughing in my face and turning his head to the left while laughing in my face. But the purpose would be for the people who are gay over here to look straight in the public and for millions of people to not know it. And then to torture and rape somebody who is straight over here. So it's like a mental dominant. Oh, I don't know. It's somebody who watches this video is going to listen and realize, hey, I know what he's talking about. And I know the word. Or I know the psychology. Or I know something he doesn't know about what he's saying that can explain what he's saying. But that's what they're after. They're after me with an implant showing up in public as a homosexual while somebody else is having sex like a straight person and a gay person. But the straight guy over there is only having sex like a gay dude. So the gay community has a better life while somebody who's supposed to be heterosexual is being tortured and raped and can't tell anybody about it because there's an implant in his body and no one is listening to him say that, hey, there's an implant in my body. And millions of people know what I'm saying right now to be true. They also know that there's an implant in my body and they're listening to me speak. And as millions of these people are listening to me speak, they are refusing to tell. They're not saying a word. They're not saying anything whatsoever. Can you grasp? Can you understand the gravity? There are people in authority who aren't supposed to be allowing these things to happen, and they're listening to me speak right now. So I'm gonna keep telling, and if you watch this video, you can believe. I hope you can piece it together. Well, not piece it together. I hope you find the details and rationalize what I just said. I hope you rationalize what I just said. And when you do, you tell everybody you know that I can rationalize what he said. And I think he's telling the truth.